Oh my god, the curse was powerful this last time. I just finished explaining to you all how the curse only counts for the day of the reveals video and like the day after that. And then what happens? Well, I wake up to find that the Dion and Ariel 2-pack has been leaked. Alright, yeah, there it is, right there, as expected. However, then later in the day, we got new leaked listings, one of which confirming the aforementioned 2-pack, two of which being unclear Comic-Con figures, and the last one being a Starscream repaint into Nacelle. Okay, that's not unexpected. Sometimes there's several leaks or reveals due to the curse. Then, like 3/4 of the way through the day, all the official renders for the Rise of the Beast characters dropped. Okay, stop. And then the next day when I woke up, there was yet one more leak. And you know what? I already missed a couple things because I'm stupid and I forgot about them with the last video. So despite the fact that I don't like doing 2 of these in a row, how about another one? Even though it really annoys me to do this since I had plans to review an actual figure today, but I'm not about to get dozens of questions for the next 2 weeks about this stuff, only to forget something else again when I actually get around to it. Let's start with the stuff that I forgot. Shattered Glass Grimlock. It is impressive that I forgot this, because I talked about the Toxitron Grimlock and was like, hey guys, you have another chance to get this thing. Yes, they do, because this cooler looking version has been in the works for way longer than the G2 one, which is apparently coming in wave 2 of the Toxitron line. If there's going to be 2 waves, that probably means that we're getting a Watermelon Mirage too. At least that will look better than Tool Room prototype plastic jazz. Anyways, yeah, this Grimlock looks so damn sexy. I love the white faceplate. It kind of reminds me of like a skull. It really differentiates him from the normal version. And the pumpkin spice visor is putting a smile on my face. Also, just gotta love all the details they've given to the head. This feels like the evil version of Grimlock in the only way his pea-brain can comprehend it, by going full Halloween. Yes, I know evil Grimlock is smart, shut up. Imagine if he wasn't though. Like pretend both the Grimlocks are exactly as stupid and violent as each other, it's just the factions that are different. I like to picture them both playing in a sandbox together while everyone else fights. I will say that I'm a little worried about how the legs are going to look in person. Part of what stopped Grimlock's gams from seeming too long on the normal 86 figure is that the hips were red. That's just gone on this figure, so there's a real chance that this guy looks like he's got legs that go all the way up. Also, damn it, does this mean I'm going to have to buy a slew of new gap fillers for this thing again? I did that already. It turned out awesome. Alright then, there's the Armada Optimus Prime. I almost feel like I did already cover this thing, but I think I'm just wrong and stupid. This looks really good, though I am deeply saddened that this is definitely not the prototype we saw back in Power of the Primes. That thing looked a lot cooler than this. Not trying to insult the actual Legacy Prime though, it looks great. It's just that the other one looked sick as hell. Now I'm very concerned as to how these shoulders are going to work. They look like they got a bad case of the hot rods going on. The base robot mode looks really solid, though I can't say that I'm a fan of how the leg tires have ever worked on this design, especially not here. And I foresee a desperate lack of wrist swivel on this robot mode. Let's just say that I'm concerned about the posability and move on. Truck mode looks pretty good, though there's a mild degree of gappiness in some areas, and as always, there's some gold hands glinting off the back of the alt mode. I expect these exhaust pipes won't fall off all the time and break for no reason. Seriously, if those had to come off to form the gun, then why did they need to be made out of clear plastic? Not just clear plastic that was filleted. The truck mode with the trailer looks basically exactly as it should. Honestly, it looks so much like the original, I keep double taking to make sure that it's not just a picture of the old figure again. Though the trailer with the treads seems like a really bad idea. Like, treads exist to lay down their own road so they can cross soft terrain without sinking. But this has to be pulled by a wheeled vehicle, so it's completely redundant. It's very much Rule of Cool gone silly. The back of it absolutely has a groin folded up on it though. Looking at this, I think I can see how it's all going to work, and I just question if this little box on the underside is going to have an electronic function. It doesn't really seem to do too much in the transformation, and only appears to get strapped on, hanging a mile off the back of the combined mode. It can still do a version of the weapons platform, but I'm going to be honest, this is really weak, and the figure overall would have probably been better if they didn't bother. The combined mode looks great. I mean, it's instantly way better than the original by having actual legs, and not just being a torso sitting on some scaffolding. It's too bad that the arms are mounted on the sides that they are. If they were on the opposite ends of the robot, the hip skirts could allow for some backwards butterflies, I think. But as they are, instead it would be really ugly forwards butterflies. Unfortunately, this thing is pretty small for a commander. It's obviously a lot bigger than Rodimus was, and I'm far more willing to accept this as a commander worth $80 than him. It just feels like without the terrible weapons-based mode, this could have been better in a few ways. But what is here does look awesome. This will probably absolutely style on the original figure like no one's business. Alright, on to the new stuff. Dion and Ariel. I am so tired of the cut mold, but you know what? For the first time, they might have actually done enough to get me interested in it again. They didn't just swap out the head, they retooled the arms, it looks like maybe they got rid of the leg falling off gimmick, and perhaps they did the same for the biceps, though I don't think that's likely. The backpack is very different, and I hope that's not just a chunk of parts forming. It would be great if it was just a new piece of engineering. The chest is new, there's actually enough going on here that I'm interested. Though somehow the transformation seems to have lost 2 steps. Don't ask me how that works out. And then the legacy mold is back. And honestly, it's looking better than ever. It's a little early to say that considering just how much of the robot mode is hidden behind those arms, but pre-Lita 1 here is looking pretty solid to me. The alt mode with its new retooled front end looks great, and maybe it's all the pink, but the mold looks more like an actual girl than it ever has before. I guess it makes sense that if this thing isn't failing to look like Prime RC, it's going to be better received. And I wrote all that, and then when I went to record it, I got a message over Discord telling me that there were more leaks of these two. It looks like, no, Dion is going to have the same gimmicks as always. Yay! Ariel is built like a brick shithouse, and she has a very mannish face, while Dion has a very effeminate one. I don't understand why, and my enthusiasm has been murdered by all these new revelations. Then there's the leaked listings for Nacelle. My expectation is that this is going to be a version of the Earthrise mold, and everything I said last time stands. It doesn't matter if the color scheme is awesome, the original Starscream mold this is a retool of sucks, and I hate it. Easily one of the worst Earthrise figures, so that's a hard skip for me. Unless it turns out to be a Siege version, at which point it's a medium maybe. Alright, let's get into pain. Now I want to caution everyone that maybe these renders are of old versions of the designs, as we see Mirage here has no face. It's also entirely possible that Mirage has a deployable battle mask like Bumblebee does, so who knows. Freezer looks exactly like the toy, and like a generic carryover Decepticon from the other Bay movies. And you all wonder why I think Bay is the one holding the wheel for this one. Honestly, this looks like a bastardized Movie 1 Frenzy. Then there's Scourge, who is the other design giving me pause to think that maybe these aren't finished versions, because this dude looks like an orc, and he also looks to be a bit stockier than what we saw in those initial teasers or his toy. This just seems so very different that it makes me question how recent these are. This is our first real look at Nightbird, and this also looks unfinished to me, though I am just going off instinct. This is overly Japanese-inspired again, much like Movie Drift, though thankfully without the face comprised of chicken nuggets. Weirdly, I'm getting Bird vibes off this, almost like she'll be more a rival for Air Razor than RC, though that would make some sense because from what we know, they can both fly. Also ripping off the Shredder, I see how you are. Then we got Stratosphere, and Jesus do I hate it! This is the most Bay thing we've seen in a long time. Okay, let's give him a disconcerting way too human face with beady eyes. What is with the movies and their beady, evil little eyes on everyone, especially the good guys? But he's also a pilot, so let's give him a turn of the century pilot's cap, because that's something an alien robot would have. Look, I never liked it when Alpha Trion had facial hair. I got used to it, and at this point, I don't want that to change, but that's a him thing. It belongs to him. Stop giving it to other characters. It never looks good. It's just weird and creepy that you are giving these actual monsters uncanny human faces. Then there's Wheeljack, and I don't know if this confirms that they aren't changing the face, but I will say that the evidence for it ever having been done was tenuous at best. It was just kind of Hasbro not choosing to show him off when people thought that they should have, but they did reveal the actual figure for it right after that. So odds are that it was only ever a rumor and they weren't going to get rid of this nightmare that looks nothing like it did in the directly preceding movie. There was no reason to change the character's head to this from the one he had in the Bumblebee movie, except for Bay to rub his stink all over it and say, "Yes, I am the one in charge, deal with it." And then lastly, we have Transit, who, I'm gonna be honest, actually looks kinda sick. The head is whatever, it's far from the worst I've ever seen, but he just kind of looks like a jacked dude in blue jeans and a t-shirt, rather than him being a misshapen abomination, and that's pretty refreshing. I hope he actually looks like this in the movie, and that he doesn't get killed in like 10 seconds of being introduced, like what happens with the vast majority of all the movie characters. They either die instantly, or they appear in like 2 minutes of a 2-hour movie with 90% of their screen time just being random shots of them in the background. I hope the movie will be good. I hope it will put me in my place and make me shut up. And I did think that the Bumblebee movie was going to suck before I saw it. And that movie shut me up. I just don't see that happening this time. Though to be fair, I didn't see it happening last time either. And now we finally have that Amazon Optimus Prime that we have known was coming since like halfway through 2022, and the one that we saw what it would look like with the Holiday Prime. And you know what? This actually looks really cool. I wasn't interested in Holiday Prime, except for the green chest windows and the internals. Those look pretty tasty. But this in general just looks so much better. Better colors, less goofy concept, something that I don't feel like I need to put away for 85% of the year because it's just not that season right now. I can take or leave the Volvo branding, but you know what? This is a Prime that I'm interested in. Get rid of the garbage trailer off the ER Prime and you got yourself a deal. I don't want this trailer again. It's not worth the plastic it's printed out of. God damn it, I may actually buy this. But unlike last time, where I had very little positive to say about what's coming down the pipe, this is a good amount of stuff that I think looks, well, good. I know I and many others are not thrilled with the movie designs we're seeing, but I've also seen a fair amount of support for them too. If you like those, I'm happy for you. But God, I wish we could both like them. The Bumblebee movie was a great blending of Bay and G1. This just looks to me like it's completely gone back to Bay. And that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.